This week on Alaskan Ballistics, 6.5 versus 270 with the Hornady Superformance GMX. This is episode 2 in the 6.5 versus 270 series. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back to Alaskan Ballistics. I'm Chuck. Thank you for watching this video. Today we have 6.5 Creedmoor versus 270. There are a bunch of videos out there. I like to do mine with specific ammo. The last one we did with Barnes LRX, and that was the #1 video on the channel. On paper, the 270 should blow the 6.5 Creedmoor away. However, this particular 6.5 Creedmoor load is getting up there in speed, and it's only 10 grains less than the 270. So this might actually be the 6.5 Creedmoor load to get up there close, but no cigar, to the 270. Now, the 6.5 Creedmoor is known for having a good ballistic coefficient, but because it's a lighter bullet and a 120 grain, it's not actually going to be that much different of a ballistic coefficient than the 270. The 270 is a 130 grain. We are shooting the 6.5 Creedmoor out of a Savage Model 116, 22-inch barrel, and a Tikka T3X, 22-inch barrel for the 270. First, we're going to do chronograph, and then we're shooting through 2 sets of ribs, and they're staggered where they're going to hit bone, and catching the bullet in water jugs. Stay tuned. Now, some of you might be wondering why I'm comparing apples to oranges, and you're going to troll me in the comments. I have 2 reasons. One, this velocity on the 6.5 is supposed to get close to the 270. I want to see how close it actually is. And number 2, people actually come into stores, gun stores, if you've worked behind the counter, and ask what caliber I should get. They might watch YouTube videos, but they don't necessarily read ballistics tables. So, that's why I'm making this. Thank you very much for understanding. All right, here we go. 6.5 versus 270. 6.5 out of the 22-inch barrel Savage, 120 grain GMX. 120 grain GMX. Here we go. .30-41. Now I got to shift because that thing shifted. .30-53. .30-42. .30-71. So right about where the box was saying. Right about at the box at 30-50. Some a little higher, some just a few lower. Now we have the Tikka 270. Here we go. Let's turn that power down where I can see every time. .32-32. Not bad. .32-11. .32-31. And I gotta shift this thing back here. .32-07. So not bad, within 30 feet per second or so, just a little bit over. Not bad. It's actually not that big of a discrepancy for the 2 rifles. Still wins, 270 still wins the velocity, but it's not that bad. Put what you think wins in the comments. We'll have the add-up slides, and then we'll do the penetration test. So here's our add-up slide. As you can see, the 270 pretty much totally dominated the numbers. I didn't think energy would be that far apart, but it is. that far apart, with over 500 foot-pounds of energy more in the 270. Now here's the ballistics chart. Now that's a small one, so I blew it up right here on this slide, and this gives you some basic numbers. You can pause the other slide and go back and read it if you want to. What I thought was cool is that both the 270 and the 6.5 Creedmoor actually got the numbers they said they would on the box. It was about 25 degrees out, not too cold for Alaska, and very little humidity in the air, and very little wind, and we were at about 100 feet off of sea level where we were shooting. So, stay tuned for the penetration test. Here's the 6.5 Creedmoor 120 grain GMX. Here we go. Alright, let's see how we did. Straight down the middle, I'm sure. Alright, here on the ground, we hit it right there. It's our entry hole. You can see right there in the ribs. Went high. That was weird because it didn't go high in our test shots. Here's the second portion of ribs that Chuk and I had shot earlier. Went high there. First water jug. Looks like it deflected along the side. The bone made it deflect along the side. So it only went in to 3 water jugs and came out. Actually, we have 2 jugs on the ground, so there was 2 water jugs. So it went through 4 water jugs, the 6.5 Creedmoor did, before it deflected. So, not very good. 2 ribs made it deflect. Sorry, I'm using a different camera today, and this camera's just not wanting to focus. There we are. 2 ribs made it deflect. It's crazy how much that is. But that's not a bad expansion. We'll get back to the house and weigh that. Let's compare it against the 270 now. Here's the 270, 130 grain GMX. Same test, two pork ribs and some water jugs behind it. Was gonna do pork shoulders, but one of them didn't unfreeze overnight. Here we go. About 60 yards away. All right, looks like it did a lot more damage. As you would expect, it's 270. Let's go see. Sorry, my phone died, so I have this little handy cam and the picture's just not that great. Looks like we hit the ribs right there. And okay, we hit the ribs right here. Went a little high left than I expected it to. Maybe I jerked it. And went through those ribs good. Had these turned upside down. Look at this hole. It busted through 1, 2 or 3 water jugs. I can't even tell where some of them are. Some of them landed way over there. And I know there's at least 2 off the table. 1, 2, 3. Looks like it went into the 5th. So 1 more water jug than the 6.5 Creedmoor. Let me get it out for you guys. Come on, autofocus. Focus. There we are. Look at that. 270. Much bigger than the 6.5 Creedmoor. Let's get it back to the house and let's weigh it. It didn't deflect like the 6.5 Creedmoor either, which is nice. I did have that barge deflect slightly in the caribou I shot, so that's probably why 270 is a better hunting round. Alright, here we go. I've got the 6.5 Creedmoor. Let's put it on the scale. It was a 120 grain. It is now at 103.5. So it lost 16.5 grains. Not terrible. Pretty good weight retention. And the 270, which was a 130 grain, 129.0. So the 270 still wins on the weight retention. We know the 270 expanded more just by looking at the bullets, but let's go ahead and measure that anyway. And I found my electronic one of these. Here is the 270. Widest point of expansion. 0.608, it looks like, maybe. 0.591 there. 0.578. And the 6.5, which we don't expect to expand as much. 0.526, not too far behind. That's not bad. Greatest part is 0.5515. 0.5521. So, 6.5 Creedmoor pretty much loses in all the numbers here, but still a fun round to shoot. It still will take game. I've taken a caribou with a 6.5 Creedmoor. I've seen deer run off with a 270. Just depends on your shot placement and your bullet construction. All right, now some final thoughts. So in conclusion, the old venerable 270 still has a better trajectory, doesn't drop as much, has straight line penetration. That's what it does for me. That's the reason why I like it better than the 6.5 Creedmoor, is straight line penetration. The 6.5 Creedmoor does have less recoil. It's just not carrying that oomph that the 270 is carrying, as well as the foot-pounds of energy. For me, what makes the 270 actually win is the straight line penetration. The 6.5 Creedmoor hit bones, 2 bones, and deflected through our water jugs. The 270 stayed straight after hitting bone. And the 2 sets of ribs were staggered where they were both going to hit bone. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. YouTube's not sharing a lot of our videos right now, so please make sure that happens. With all gun videos, everybody on YouTube, share their videos so they can stay on YouTube, stay making money, and eventually win back our 2A rights that we have lost. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, Subscribestar, Parler, which I think is coming back up. And we are also on The Jump, which is a good free speech app. MeWe. There we go. Contact us any of those places. God bless. Take care. We will see you at the range.